Today we'll talk about focal points. Focal points are critical squares around his king. So here it means like this is the focal point because we already have the knight that attack and he only have the king that protect the square.
Yes.
For example, h2 is not focal point because it's true that he only protected with the king, but we don't have any piece that attack it yet. And also f2 is not focal point because he protected like 3 times and we don't attack it at all. So this is the focal point. So when you find like focal point in position, it's very important to look at, okay, how you can attack this focal point. So what do you think here, how we can attack this focal point? There are 3 possible moves. So what do you think, what is the best here?
Queen to g5, threatening mate in 1, and then he needs to move to the pawn to g3, and I do a discover check. And I
okay, but this queen is protected.
that's protected.
This is tricky.
Yes.
Tricky. Because if I move my king, this queen is protected here.
Yes.
Okay, queen g5 is one of the way, but unfortunately, he'll have this g3 move.
That's the beautiful.
Then if you play queen g6, he'll play this g3, but which else piece can attack g2? It's very tricky.
The bishop can go to h3.
Yes, bishop go on h3, right? Perfect.
Yes.
He can't take because now it's checkmate, right? You know, check. Only move is going here, and now it's like checkmate. Okay, good. And now this is good move because now he can't play g3 because rook is under attack.
Yes.
So this is the reason why like bishop h3 is better than queen g5 because now we are much advantage. Also here, what is good to know, like in general, when you're much advantage, like in this position, it's good to start trading, like to trade like this knight for the bishop. In the future, you'll also trade the queen to make it more simpler. And then in endgame, you can realize your advantage. Yeah. Okay. So that's good to know. Okay. So here there's a way that he can protect this pawn, and this is knight e3. How you can bring more attackers to g2 because now we have only 2 like attackers. He has 2 defenders.
The next one is the queen.
Yes.
Queen can go to g5 or
or g6. Okay, right. This is a little better than g6 because also this queen is pinned. So now we attack it like 3 times. He only protected 2 times. So it means he can't play something randomly. We'll just take this pawn and it will be checkmate. And also what is good to know, it's always checkmate at the focal point. See, it can't be checkmate here or here on the sum square that is not critical. So it's always checkmate at the focal points. But what do you think if he played that one? His idea is to protect that one with the queen. But now he has some tactic.
I can take with the knight.
Okay, right.
If
and
they
now he
take
this.
And that's this. Yeah, that I take the queen.
Yes, and now you're just much advantage. Yes, he can't take with the queen because queen is under attack. Yes. Now he's all the way pinned. So we'll take the knight next move. It will be check and will be much advantage. It's one of the way. Another way is like to take it with the bishop. And when he take it with the knight, now we have discovered check. Yeah, it's also good. Both of that one are like winning move. Okay, now let's set up some crazy position. 1 second. Like here. Black to play give mate in 2. This is funny. This one.
It's a smothered mate.
Yes.
I check queen g1 and then knight
now
f2.
He take, yeah. And now it's checkmate. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, so here we'll go back. What was the point? We just check with now that g2 is focal point, and we just like try to attack it more. First, we bring like our bishop. It was under attack. He can't take because it's checkmate at the focal point. On the other hand, he can't play like this move. When he protect with the knight, we bring 1 more attackers, and whatever he do, he will lose this pawn with the knight or with the bishop. Sometimes, if, for example, if this queen is like protected, our plan will be to bring the rook as well. So idea is to bring as much as possible attackers to the G2. So this is what actually here we did, and because it was like weak square, it was after a lot of attackers, it was our square, we take it, then because it's a ranking, it's soon made. So is this clear, this example?
Yes.
Okay, so now we can see like next one. This game here, right? What do you think, what is focal point? What is weak square around his king?
G7.
Good, yes, G7, how we can attack it?
We have a bishop, a queen. First the queen on G3.
Okay, this one. We attack it twice, okay?
Yes.
So he need to be careful, but now he'll play this move.
They cannot
example,
take
now,
because it's pinned, but I don't know what to do next.
True. Yeah, but now his plan will be to go queen c5 and then try to attack that knight here. So, okay, it's a focal point, but now it's not that easy to get it like this one.
Yes.
Which else? We can attack it here. How about bishop?
Well, I can attack. If I move the bishop right away, they can take it.
Okay, okay.
Ah, but then the diagonal is open.
True, if you go there, he will cover.
Yes.
Still, we are better. We can play, for example, like h4 or like knight f6. Still, we are better. But here, how we can come to this focal point? Not only by this square, which else square we can like
Queen
use?
to c3.
Yes, queen c3. Well done. Yes, queen c3. Now we would like to bring the queen here. If he play f6, now we can go queen g3 because his bishop can't cover. This is trick first there, and then whenever this king can go, now it's checkmate to the focal point.
Oh.
Okay, so it means he can't take, but he can also play this. So he attack our knight, but we don't need to think about this knight. It's much more important to bring queen to the focal point, right?
Yes.
So much more important is to bring our queen on the focal point. So now he can't take our knight because, okay, this is checkmate on the focal point. On the other hand, he can't play f6. It's good that we didn't go back with the knight because now we can take this pawn for free, right? This, and now we would like to give him checkmate there. He can, okay, try to give the rook, but anyways, we come to the focal points and now it's a checkmate here. Okay, so it means he can't play like g6 because this is lost after this move. What do you think after this move, what we can play?
Queen, if I go queen to g3, then they cannot take. And I have
3 attackers, right? He only has 2 attackers. Yeah. Okay, that's great move. Now he can't take, he can't bring his queen to protect it because this square is covered. Rook can't help protecting like g7. Like if you push the pawn, now we can take like the rook, and okay, we have much advantage and we get advantage. But also here we have a little better move. It is that we can take here. Idea of this move is when he take our bishop, now queen g3. And idea is to take this, and now he didn't have this g6 move because we eliminated that pawn. So whatever he do, he can't, like, for example, like bring the queen to protect it because our rook can't help. Whatever else he go, we'll just give him checkmate on the focal point. So this is what we did in this position. So we recognize this is the focal point and we're just starting attacking it. So he can't push, we already saw it's like checkmate. So what I suggest all the time focusing, okay, what is the focal point? How I can bring my pieces there, especially queen, because if you bring the queen on the focal points, it will be checkmate. So this one was a little harder. And also this is interesting, for example, if he takes, not immediately, because he will cover. So this is the reason why we can come also from that square to the focal point. So when he pushed the pawn, okay, he stopped it, but on the other hand, he also like covers, so this bishop can't go, and now it's checkmate on the focal point. Any question about that position?
No, it's a good
Now,
principle to bring pieces to the
yes,
action.
yes, yes, yes. First thing, like recognize what is the focal point. Sometimes can be the hardest, hardest way, because sometimes you have a lot of focal points. You need to recognize, okay, what is the focal point, what is like weaker square, what is priority. But when you find it's much easier to see, okay, which pieces we can bring there, like how we can attack these focal points. So this one is some grandmaster levels game. It was much harder, but here, what do you think, what is the focal point? Which of these points is the weakest here?
It's G2.
G2, okay, how we can attack G2? One more time.
With the knight to f4, and I cannot
Okay,
take.
perfect. Knight f4, right? So now we can see that he can't take. Okay, it's a checkmate on the focal point. On the other hand, he can take your bishop. This is a little tricky. So now we can still focusing, okay? This is the focal point. We want to see the queen there. So what do you think? We have two ways to come the queen, from this one or from this one. What do you think, what is better?
If I take with the queen f3, they can take the knight and the attack is gone.
Yes, good.
So
Okay, right. If you go from that side, right?
If they waste time to take, I take with the pawn, and then it's
yes. He need to take, otherwise it's a checkmate on the focal point. He needs to take, and now you take with the pawn, and now there's no way to protect these focal points. Like queen can't help, like rook can't help, knight can't help, and now it's a checkmating like pattern here, one of the checkmating patterns. Okay, good. But it means he can't take any of your pieces. Now it's the hardest way. After this move, okay, it's true that it's the focal point, we attack it twice, but if we take the rook, for example, he'll still be fine. He'll go there because he's still piece up now. See, if we take the rook, he'll be two pieces and the pawn for the rook. It's not good for black, it's not enough material. So what do you think, how we can bring the queen here in two moves, in just two moves? This is tough.
Win the queen.
Bring the queen on G2, yes.
Bring the queen to G2.
Yeah, take this square with the queen. Just in two moves. That's very hard move. Try to guess.
I give if I give a check with the knight on h3, they can.
Okay, I saw what you want. You want if you, for example, take. Yes. You go here. Now it's a checkmate here, but
yes, they can move.
We have this move.
Yes. I can take. Well, that's not the goal, I guess. I can take.
Yeah, we can take the knight, true, but still game is going.
That's bad.
We return the piece, and which else piece can go on h3? You tried with the knight.
Well, the queen.
Yes. So he can't take. See, king can't go anywhere.
That's nice.
It's checkmate. And now we attack it 3 times. He can't take bishop. It's a checkmate on the focal point. He can't take the knight. It's a checkmate on the focal point. We already saw he can't take the queen. There is no way to protect this focal point, and now it's checkmate. See, he is piece down, but there is no way to protect G2 pawn. Okay, so is this clear about focal points, that one?
Yes.
Yeah, so first thing, recognize what is the focal point. Second thing, try to bring the pieces to attack this focal point. So this one can help you to visualize things better, because here you have a lot of possible moves. If you don't think about focal points, you can play this move, you can play this move, you can play this move. It's a lot of possible move here. So you can be just confused, okay, what is the best move? What is the plan in my position? So this is what I suggest you first try to recognize what is the focal point and look at, can you somehow bring more pieces? Okay, we bring one more piece. If you take, if you look at, okay, how we can bring the queen there, okay, here we can do, and now he can't take, and now this is a 2 weak square, and now it's checkmate there. So this is what I suggest you to do in the game.
When do you start thinking about focal points? Do you have a plan since the opening, or you make it up?
Mostly after the openings. Like first I develop my pieces on some squares that control maximum number of the squares. So I put my pieces in some active position. And after that one, when I develop all my pieces, I think about focal points because, for example, in beginning, all pieces are very passive. For example, see, all pieces are like very passive, only knight can move here, rook is passive. So now it's very hard to and impossible to find the focal points. So here, for example, from white point of view, I will think, for example, like e4. I take this pawn, for example. He need to protect it. And now, for example, f7 can be like focal point, like in potentially focal point. So if you play, for example, something like this, I'll try to bring my knight and try to attack this focal point. So from opening, I will think like, and after opening, what are the focal points? So that's, you need your pieces.
Should the focal point be a weak point?
Yeah. Usually, yeah, it's like weak pawn. Some pawn or some square. Also, it didn't need to be, let's say, pawn. It can be like if you play something like this, it can be like focal point. It can be weak square, for example. Like there's no pawn, but still it can be like really weak and critical. So it doesn't need to be pawned. It's just some square or even pawn. So this is something that you attack it like, and he only protect with the king, or he didn't protect it enough. He protect maybe one piece, you attack it like 2-3 times. So that's the focal point.